We go through life and it's a blink. The years add up and we speed through it, and we all get a dose of something. And that becomes a level that challenges us. Every level tests whether you can keep up with your energy intact, or if you're going to collapse into those same old patterns that keep you stuck. Now, this became especially relevant when I read Dan Koh's post on his developments of Human 3.0. I'll put a link in the description about how you can map out your own stages in this Human 3.0 that he's created. In there is a mind quadrant where Dan Koh is talking about how people are assigned these scripts at birth and they start playing, and then they end up creating their own game when they wake up to being a player. They start to construct the level of awareness that allows them to actually enter into the game. And people who abandon the scripts that they've been given and start to play their own conscious game, they are aware of what they're creating. They understand the dynamic of mindset and optimization, and they seek to better their experience. So much inward is a result of our outward experience. It's all about the game. Take life too seriously, and it stops us from letting go and surrendering into the kind of presence that's required to step into life. So why not play? NPC stands for non-player character, and Dan Koh often refers to them as a character in the game controlled by the computer, versus the players who are in their biggest mindset shift of seeing life differently. NPC players will walk around as life happens to them. They are constantly on this autopilot controlled setting by the computer. But players, they believe they have the levels in order to up their experience and their progress bar. There is no autopilot because these people are constantly listening, questioning, upskilling, and applying strategies. But most people get stuck in NPC mode, often still drawing energy but without the metrics of progress. And when we treat life like a game, nothing is wrong in our experimentation of it. And provided you are a genuine human being, the levels in which you go up and learn and keep learning until you reach that next stage, and that is the critical difference. You are never truly stuck. You live on an earth that is always in motion. And another thing is that fear does not fuel the mission. And I first clearly saw this in the drama triangle, that one side of the triangle relates to being afraid. And fear is dramatic 9 times out of 10, or at least if you think about it, it can be. A comfort zone is the level that you're on. Imagine playing life at a level 3, never seeing level 8. I never realized when you stay in the comfort zone, you've already lost the game. Your mind checks out. And it's the comfort of the old scripts that we retreat to in these default NPC settings. We shrink our view. Our lives become tied to others. But when we realize that we're a player in this conscious game of life, fear becomes a learning zone, a stage to level up from. And failure is never, ever an endpoint. It's a checkpoint. Every wrong note, every scrunched up page, every awkward moment in front of others is evidence that you are applying the skill to get to that next level. And kids know this intuitively. They fall 100 times learning to walk, because every setback is a setup for the next level. But when NPC players meet players, there's a conflict, and there's a difference between these stages. The players get called into a quest. They face a fear of a battle, but with energy, and this challenges us. An energy game is sent to test. And I noticed something profound is that your environment will test your spirits. If you're in high spirits and someone is in low spirits, it wants to equal it out. It's like a balance that needs to occur, but that was it. I cleared the first level. For the first time, I didn't get sucked into someone else's drama. Instead, I stayed in my own state. That was all the evidence that I needed that this mindset works. Every day you find yourself in some kind of game. It might be a game sent to test your patience, your priorities, or the subtle art of listening. The first step is simply noticing which game is in play. Most people rush through, unaware of what's really occurring in the moment. But when you see it, you're no longer lost in it. And you can imagine the ways that a game calls upon tools, allies, and treasures. When someone's playing a computer game, these are the things that are in their inventory. But having these just sitting there is not enough. The players must use them. So every level that you enter, if you enter only to win, then you're going to burn yourself out. The main aim is how do you protect your energy to learn, to grow, and the game shifts. It's like when someone's playing a computer game, they don't use all of their ammunition in one particular setting. They understand that they have to continue this process on to be able to reach that next level. And so every choice shows us what works and what does not work. And the more that you can move through each state consciously, then you're going to be more in that driving state where you can drive the wheel of life. So last week I talked about the wheel of life, and this is another time where this moment really landed for me. The truth is that when you start looking at the wheel of life, when we're kids, we're always playing. Every area of life is an adventure, friendships, health, creativity. It's all about the fun. But somewhere along the lines, this gets hijacked by paperwork, government-driven expectations, and seeing it in life. This game reminds me that the wheel is continually spinning, and you get to decide which parts of the game board you want to be in, which ones you want to step into. So whether you're leveling up in health, developing a relationship, or building a business, this is really all the circles in play. It's all a game. And this lens works everywhere. If you are overwhelmed, it's the game of prioritizing. Which of these tasks is a mission that's going to move you forward the fastest? Or burnout, for example, it's a game of understanding rest and the role that it has in success. And the world's biggest breakthroughs come from people who understand that small upgrades adds to our energy and understanding bar. And if you're struggling, it's a game of listening. How deeply are you hearing what is drawing attention in your life right now? And then we have procrastination. Procrastination is the game of experimenting, pressing start. Again, nothing is wrong, just press start. Because play allows us that freedom to do that, because we know if we're playing, we're moving forward. This one took the longest for me to understand, but when you realize it's all a game of strategy, you learn the rules, you make the moves, and you adapt them. And this next part is the part that most people avoid, and that is you actually have to move. You have to take a step, test an option, and get that feedback, and adjust the path as you go. See, most people see life as a to-do list, but behind every task is a mission. Behind every conflict is a level, and behind every setback is a lesson. You already know this. It's hidden in every decision you make. Knowing this philosophy means nothing until you try it. The first time you do, you will feel the shift immediately. We are all but passengers on a floating rock, so you might as well come out and play. Pick one area of domain of the wheel of life and think about it. Think about it to the level that you're on, and choose one area to protect your energy, learn and grow this week. Life is but a game that we choose. Start learning to play the game because you're in it, and it's a blessing to be on this planet as it's drifting through space. No one is ever truly stuck. This is something that I struggled with for such a long time. I felt stuck, but you're on a planet that's moving. You can never be stuck. You can hide in the most darkest of places, but the world will continue to carry you forward. So in that, come out and play, because forget everyone else and their opinion. You get one shot at this. There is no evidence that says that we get to come back. I mean, I'm spiritual and I believe in faith that we do, but what would you do differently if you realized that life was a complete and utter game that you got to experience through experimentation? Because really, if we saw life as a game, because it really is one, we don't all get the same rules. We don't all get the same progress metrics, but that's the beauty of it. So much of our fabric of what we think is real is made up on experience. The more we experience, the more we understand.